Welcome to Detroit Comics Party, episode 45. We have with us today Bronwyn Lorelei. Welcome to Detroit Comics Party. Oh. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
That's what everyone says when they start off, right?
Most people say, why did you do this to me?
That'll probably be later.
So we kind of just met, but you are an artist, an illustrator. What else? I know you do a lot of drawings involving the body.
Yeah.
The body.
I do a lot of drawings involving the body. I don't know. I don't know if you want me to talk about the drawings, but
yeah.
It pretty much started not that long ago, maybe a little less than 2 years ago. I used to do that. Before that, I was doing a lot of collage. I would collect vintage Playboys and do collages with those, mix in animals and just make weird shit. But it was like really just for fun. I would just sit in my room, and even if I didn't have any art supplies, I would use like nail polish or just anything I could get my hands on just to fuck around. And then when I was living in Portland, Oregon, I met some like other rad artists and got really like inspired, and I started figure modeling, which really boosted my self-confidence, like body confidence, which I didn't have before doing that, and like seeing my body as an art form in so many different ways by so many different artists and styles. It was just really encouraging for me. And then so I started doing the figure model or figure drawing and kind of just evolving into a style through that. And I started with the microns, the like really thin ass microns, like the 0.05. And I just like fell in love. It's like, I didn't know you could have this much meticulous detail, and I didn't know it could be this fun. And it just kind of evolved from that. And a lot of it.
That's the pen that no one can borrow.
I mean,
they'll smash the tip off.
It's also the pen I don't use anymore because of that, because they're really shitty. But like starting off, it was pretty rad. But I think that's kind of where a lot of it started and came from. And I've just always been kind of interested in like sex and sexuality. Not so much that I'm a like very sexual person, but I respect talking about it and
academically.
Yeah, I think like even when I was younger, like we had all the cable channels, and out in my room I would watch like the Spanish porn channel, and I'd be like to my friends like, "Hey, come on over, we're gonna watch porn in my room." And I had like this outside office room that was disconnected from the house, and you know, I was like totally into it, and I would like seriously just have friends over. We would just watch porn, but like in a super chill way. Like none of us, we weren't doing anything weird with it. I mean, that's okay too if you want to do that, but we weren't.
You were just a child living in your off-site apartment watching Spanish porn.
I wouldn't even say it was. I was a teenager.
Okay.
So it wasn't like that weird. I feel like that's an okay age to be exploring. I mean, every age is anyway. I'm not gonna get into that.
I'm not like judging.
Anyway, so like, and when my dad found out about that, he was like, "No, oh my god!" And he got rid of the channel because I think I like openly was like, "I was watching porn." And he was like, "What?
Wait a minute.
You can't do that." And it's like, he's like, "I'm getting rid of it," because he works for Comcast, so we just had all the channels. He had all the connections. He could do anything. So it just kind of evolved into just being really fascinated with the discomfort that people get when you talk about sex. I just really like the confrontation of that a little bit. I mean, a lot. And it just kind of evolved into what it is now. And then a lot of it, too, was when I finally felt body positive to explore, like, I don't care if I'm naked all the time, and I don't really care if you see my vag if it slips out of my shorts, and I don't really, it's like those things that I don't care if you see my hair anywhere, it's fine. That just kind of evolved into also that, and I don't know if this is like too much to say, but when you're, especially for young girls, like in their teens, when you start exploring sexuality and like having sex for the first time, like I had a really shitty experience losing my virginity, and then I dated someone who I liked a lot more, but still didn't like enjoy sex, and I didn't think I had to. I was like, oh, this is about you having fun with your penis, and I'm happy, you're happy, and even though I'm, what was that for? And so when I finally was like, this is funny, my stepmom actually told me, she was like, you can just do it yourself during, just like, get yourself off during sex. And I was like, what? And so ever since then, I've just like made it, I never will not come during sex, and it's been like huge, because that's not something that...
That's a good policy.
I mean, it's not something that we talk about, though. So many women just don't allow themselves to enjoy sex, and it becomes super taboo when you're, like, embracing your own body in that kind of way. So that kind of, like, most of the drawings are kind of showing the female sexuality side, that it's, like, okay for women to not need a man or a partner or whoever to get them off. They can do it for themselves, and but it's also kind of more, I don't know, political in the sense that I don't want it to seem, it's not really porn. It's more expressive than porn. I don't want anyone else thinking it's for anyone, but it's for me. It's my own, like, expression of it. So I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Is it frustrating to have to still be like explaining that to people and have to like make that part of your message, or is it enjoyable because it's like making people's lives better maybe, or like showing them something they don't know about already?
I have had a lot of people come to me on Instagram, because that's like my primary social media platform. And they've been like, ever since seeing your art, like it's my favorite thing to see on my Instagram. I feel so body positive. I like feel like I can love my hair and my curves and my like weird lopsided tits. Like I love myself, and I like love seeing your art, and that just warms my heart so much. That's so much for me. It's not why I do it. I do it more for like my own expression. But when I see that I can like help other people who struggle into their own confidence, it feels really amazing. But then on the counterhand of that, I get, primarily from like just kind of ignorant people, like, oh, vag monsters. I'm like, no. I mean, that's fine. Like,
no, friends.
I'm
They're
super
friends.
into monsters. Like, I like the creepy monster shit, but I don't know if I want to be like the vag girl who draws vag all the time, because it's not really about that either. And so that is a little bit frustrating for me. I've been trying to like think of ways that I can get out of that. And then it kind of sucks when you are such a like prominent person on the internet. I mean, I'm not even that prominent, but I have a decent following to like change or alter or anything, because people are like...
You're worried that they'll be like, what is this? I came here for the vaginas.
Yeah, I also don't want that to be why I do anything. Like, I want to be able to evolve into, okay, yeah, I did the whole like body positivity sex stuff, but now I'm just going to do like a whole fucking series of chairs or like, something. I don't want it to just be, that's just what you're stuck in, because that's the thing that a lot of artists get stuck in, is when they have a style, they have to continue that style. Otherwise, people are like, I don't want that.
Right.
But I don't mind explaining things to people. I also don't think about it before I draw something. It's not necessarily, I have this great political image in my head and I want everyone to invoke it this way. It happens after the fact, where I'm like, okay, maybe I can think about what this means to me, as opposed to like when I was drawing it, it doesn't really happen like that. But again, I love explaining it. I don't know.
So you're not sitting down like, okay, back to the job. If I don't do it, no one will.
No. Because I definitely don't feel like I'm the only one who's expressing themselves this way. I feel like there's, especially because of the social media platform, indie art and like people doing their own thing has exploded so much, and more female artists are like exploring, their body and their body positivity, and that's also encouraging. But because we don't have to work or worry about gallery shows anymore necessarily, like we can make a living clearly off of social media. We can do whatever we want.
So do you sell prints and stuff?
I sell originals.
Okay.
I have sold prints. I'm getting more into like, I've done 11 by 17 drawings more recently. I've only done 2 of them, but they're the biggest I've ever drawn, and it was really exciting for me to get into that. I pretty much stay pretty small, which is starting to kind of like, I want bigger. But again, I need to make a living off of it. So it kind of like, that's the most struggling part, is I have a price point that sells, and it's like getting even just a little bit more expensive, like $60 or $75. People are a little bit like, well, you sell stuff for $35, so maybe I'll just wait or something. So that's kind of the hardest part, is being stuck in a size, which I don't want to have to be either. But yeah.
Do you imagine that do you want in the future to go toward like gallery shows, or are you like entirely like post art world?
No. I definitely want to be in art galleries and such. I want it to be on my in my own. I don't know how to say this. I don't want to conform to what I think galleries are going to want. So, if a gallery is cool with having a super like not safe for work kind of art show that it's kind of explicit to probably 18 and up, then I'd be totally down. Bars, I'd show in bars if someone wanted to. The problem with that is just like when you involve other parties, it's like, you know, it takes away from you, but it's also exposure. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to have shows. I've had a couple shows, group shows in Portland before we left, and they felt really good. So, yeah.
Was it with similar, I don't want to say similar topic, but like similar strangeness or similar like body oriented or?
I mean, so my partner, I don't know if you know Nathan Wright, they're also an artist, and they have a decent following on Instagram as well. And they're like, they can draw anything. They're like amazing. But they were involved in the show with me, and they're also pretty into like creepy monster ghostly stuff. So they were in the show with me, and they had some really rad image. They do like all our friends with their belongings that they really liked, and he like put a slit down the middle, and they were all like super creepy and ghostly. So yeah, I mean, it was a theme. And then there was another person who had like strange taxidermy, what is that, assemblage kind of art pieces. So yeah, it was that show was definitely a theme of kind of creepy, but not so much like body horror or like positivity, like body positivity. That's something I'm really into, is like more feminist style of stuff, and I don't know, but then again, there's like controversies with having like female art show. It's like, is this an art show? Why do we always have to say female in front of it? It's not male art show when they have like a dude at a show.
It's usually a male art show.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, I feel like there are controversies with that, but I mean, I do have creepy style, so I like the creepy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever, I'm thinking as a comics person, but have you ever thought about like making a book or like a narrative out of the illustrations, or have you done that before?
I have not. I've actually been thinking about it more recently, but more of, I feel like sarcasm, I would say. So I've been thinking about having a collection of books, like a little zine, a collection of illustrations that I really like, that I've done over the like last year or so, and writing a little like short story to go along with it, or like a little poem, something that kind of makes no sense, is pretty ambiguous, but kind of humorous at the same time, because I feel like my art stems from there's a lot going on, but it's kind of funny at the same time. People laugh when they look at it.
Do you laugh when you look at it?
I laugh at myself pretty much all the time. As I was getting ready this morning, I was like, all right, what outfit am I gonna wear? And then there was this one I had that totally showed like that I was wearing a thong, and I was like, oh, that'd be so great, but maybe not. And then so I put this on, and the whole time I'm just laughing at myself, like, what are you wearing? But yeah, I laugh at it like all the time. I think it's good to kind of have that, again, not taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
I think it's always tough to be like, I feel like I am a freaking serious artist,
I
and
know.
my work is so important, and I really think about it a lot and do a lot to make it so serious. But then you hang out with us for 1 second, and we're like belittle it at every turn and talk trash on it, and it's like, it's not so cool. And then it's, I don't know, I like that like dissonance. I like when it's, because it's not just, I am an artist and this is my art, and it's not, we're some ding dong comics kids. It's both at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think being multiple contradictory things simultaneously is very good.
Yeah.
And that's the rich substance of the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
that makes it interesting. That's where interestingness happens.
Yeah, I think so too. If it's kind of hard to define a
Yeah.
little bit, then it's probably going to be something that's more interesting than if you could put it into one little category.
Yeah. I mean, exactly though. That's like something I'm learning is you're probably never gonna like anything you make, or you're probably, if you are, that's great, you should be, but I'm finding that it's like I have to just kind of let things go. Like, I just made this, it's fine. I'm probably not gonna like it, or someone might, that's great, but it's kind of like you have to, I mean, it's really hard. It's a huge struggle. I'm not gonna deny that. I have a lot of like emotion towards comparing myself to other artists, or being like, damn, why isn't mine that good? Or something like that. And you have to just kind of like put that away and keep going, because that's not what it's about. It's not about creating this like, I mean, it's not about having a huge following or having a lot of people know your name or liking your art or wanting your art. It's just like about doing it all the time. That's what you love.
Yeah.
And it has to just be, this is how I was feeling during this. I can't say it's wrong because it already happened and I made it. And so, okay, another one.
Do you feel like it, like I feel like it's, sometimes I'll start feeling like it's about being done. Like, I want to finish this thing, so I will have finished it. But then as soon as you're finished, at least for me, it's like, I don't care anymore. Next
Yeah.
thing. I want to do the next thing. Like, it's not like you get to sit back and feel like good, like for a long time. Or at least I don't, you know. It's so it's like, as long as you enjoy doing it and you like doing the drawing and the process of it, I think that's who's gonna last.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally. I mean, for me, most of the time it's starting something and being like, oh, I have this new idea. I really want to do that idea now. Why am I doing this idea? I have to finish it. And then I just finish it really quick and I start the next thing. And it's like an endless cycle of my brain just won't shut up with like, I have this idea now, I have to do it.
Are you doing a bunch of things at the same time, or do you try to force yourself to finish the current thing first?
I don't know if I can do a bunch of things at once. I'm kind of need to get this done before I start the next thing. Lately, I've been doing a lot of commissions. I did a portrait series of commissions, and that was nice, but it kicked my ass because.
How many was it a lot of them?
I only did 7, but for me, I do commissions every so often, but people know my style enough to not really ask for specifics. So drawing like a specific face with a specific, like I asked them to tell me a couple things they liked, and so I had to incorporate that. And I did it to myself, like it was something like a challenge I really wanted. Because I primarily just draw my face in different like animations all the time, or like, you know, just big lips and droopy eyes. But I wanted to kind of stem out of that, and I think I'm doing a lot better. I can do portraits a lot better than I used to, but it still was like, I gotta get these done. And I do embroidery too, so now I have some embroidery commissions I'm working on. And so doing the like commission thing, I don't ever want to be a commissioned artist who. Because it kind of drives me nuts. It's good. I'm always like, yeah, I really want to do this commission that I was, and then you get to it and you're like, oh, this wasn't like my idea. And
I can't do whatever I want for the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good challenge, and it's a good, people like really like to see themselves in drawing. So, I mean, it's cool in that way. But, I mean, I started this drawing last night, and I'm just so excited about it because I haven't felt like I can really just go all out on my own piece in like the last couple of weeks, just because I've been kind of mentally drained from like commission stuff, and it's like I forgot how much I love this. But like again, I'm really new to like art, and I'm really new to like marketing myself as that, so it's just kind of all a process.
I think you're doing pretty good so far, right?
Thank you. I have good people in my life. My partner and my roommate are pretty amazing, and we're all artists, and we just kind of stay home pretty much every day, just doing that.
That's good.
Yeah. So it's good to have supportive people. It's like
are they people you've known for a long time, or that you met here, or?
No, I mean, I met Nathan, he's my partner, 2 years ago in Portland, and then Grace was their friend. So I just kind of, it's like last till 2 years. We met in Portland, then we just moved here like 7 months ago, kind of on a whim.
Cool.
Yeah. And ever since, we just kind of like stayed in our house. That's all.
You're like, why did we do this?
A little bit, but also like, it's just very different around here than like what I'm used to.
How is it different?
How is it different?
I I'm asking because I don't know what Portland is like, really.
Well,
I've never been there.
I mean, Portland is like cool. Portland's really safe. There's just like, I had friends in Portland, and I think since we left, it's become a little bit more like different art shows everywhere. And a lot of it for me, though, was just how easy it was to get around without a car. I don't have a car. That's like, we have a van.
So you're basically not a person here.
Yeah, it's kind of how it feels. And like, I try and take the bus to like, I really like thrifting. I love vintage clothes. So I try and like get myself out and do that. But we live really close to Ferndale, which is nice, but it's still like a little bit expensive and not exactly like, I like a little more grungy than Ferndale. So it's just different. But then we live in Hazel Park, which again is like pretty abandoned still. I mean, people are living in the houses, but there are just so many empty storefronts, and this could be so cool, but it's just not. But it's really just the getting around thing. It's kind of a burden.
I agree.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Yeah.
If I think about it, that's like the one thing about. I just miss living somewhere with a good public transportation system.
When you came here, did you know that it was going to be that bad on the public transportation, or no?
I mean, so I had visited a few years ago by myself because of Jack White. I'm not gonna lie. I went and like saw his house and the Hotel Europa and was like, yeah, fangirling out. Excuse me. And I mean, I was in a car then though because I knew someone who was driving me around. But I mean, my partner was like pretty confident that it'd be like that because it's the car capital of the country, you know, or at least it was. And he was just like, he was pretty sure it was going to be. And I was like, nah, it'll be fine, optimistic. Like, yeah, I'll take the bus. I don't care if it's shitty. Like, I didn't realize how shitty. It would be like, if you just take one bus, it's fine. But if you're like ever trying to get somewhere that has multiple avenues.
Oh, yeah. You got to allocate at least 1 hour per bus in a multi-bus bus ride.
Yeah, but I mean, I have a bike, and that's made things a little bit easier. But again, like, this city isn't even bike friendly.
It's not very friendly.
So, I don't know, I mean, not to sound like a mean person, but I don't think the state of Michigan knows how to drive.
No.
I mean, I went to go try and renew my license, and they're like, you don't even have to take the test. You just, you know, have all this paperwork. And I'm like, I don't have to retake the test.
You take the test like once,
yeah.
And then you never have to take it again unless you like kill someone with your car.
I'm from California originally, and you have to take it every time.
How often is that?
Really?
4 years.
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure you have to take it like every time you get your license renewed. Yeah.
Yeesh.
I
That
mean,
makes way more sense.
It should be that way, especially when you're seeing people who are like in their 60s who are like, when did you even get your license? Things have changed just so much.
Back when you had to crank the engine.
Yeah, something. But so like it kind of scares me in that front to like bike because I've been hit before. So I'm like, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, you almost have to be in the car just to like defend yourself by being in the armor pod.
But again, like, there's a lot of things I love about Detroit, just being here, and that's being from the West Coast. The West Coast is just kind of, especially recently, since, like, Silicon Valley, and it's just gotten so expensive and so pretentious, and people are like, yeah, we're liberal, but then, like, aren't at all. They still, like, scowl, or, you know, they say they're liberal because that's, like, what you say, but I don't really believe it. My family's really good, though, and they live there. But, you know, it's kind of all of that, and then moving here, it's just so real. It might be a little harsh, but it's like fucking real people living real lives, trying to make it, trying to just do their thing. I don't really feel like, I don't know, no one really gives a shit around here. Everyone's just super no fucks.
I love that. I love that everything that I do in Detroit is a freaking struggle, and nobody supports me in anything I do, and nobody wants to help or would help if I asked.
That's a common theme that we end up talking about. It's like everyone who comes here and everyone who's already here, no one ever joins each other to do a thing, even if they want to do the exact same thing. Like everybody starts their own company, everybody starts their own nonprofit, or everybody does the art thing completely alone.
Huh.
And that breeds all types of resentment and struggle. And that is just the way I like it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's also
Resentment.
holding me back and holding us probably
Oh,
all
yeah.
back.
I'm sure.
You know, but going out of town to other states and other places
Yeah.
and seeing like, wow, these guys are like friends and they do a similar thing and they're like working together and like one person's telling a stranger about how good their friend's thing is. That would never occur to me. Like if
Really?
I'm telling somebody about my cool project, I guess I would say, oh, but my buddy Kevin, his stuff's good too, I guess. But like,
I guess.
that's like the end of the road of like who I would rep for, I feel like.
That's sad.
Is it?
I feel like
sad.
you're good at that. I feel
What?
like you've always done that, though. Like, you've always talked about all of your friends like they were famous people.
That's cute.
I feel like I could do more, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I just thought you were pretty good at that.
Both from Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I feel like that makes sense. Like, it's a little, like, cynical, but, like, it's kind of, I mean, I like cynicism. It's fun to laugh at.
You're in
and,
the
like,
right place.
But, like, I don't know. I don't know if I am. I think it's too cynical. It's, like, not cynical in, like, a fun way. It's cynical in, like, don't fucking talk to me. I'm just going to keep going. And I'm like, but wait, I wanted to be friends. And they're like, no. Okay. I'm sorry.
I feel like that is how it is. But then after you like blank someone, like we'd never be friends. Then as you're walking away, it's like, I wish we were friends. And then still not doing anything to like change it.
But I mean, also I feel like once you do meet people, and like people might be a little bit hard to get into. Like it's hard to have acquaintances, but
Yeah.
like easy to have a good friend, like someone who's kind of has your back. If
I
you
think once you do make a
actually-
friend with someone
Yeah.
from here, then it's like for real.
Yeah.
It's real.
I mean,
for
I have
real.
made a few friends who I like a lot, and it's mainly just the whole actually hanging out thing. I have a really hard time hanging out with people. As soon as I have to do it, I'm like, oh, never mind.
This sounded
I really
fun.
like people, you know, and I'll like totally send them selfie, weird pictures of me on the toilet and be like, "Hi, we're friends." But then, like, as
Does
soon
this
as-
work?
Yeah, as soon as it's like interacting with each other or like going and doing something, I'm like, yeah, but my house is nice. I'm just gonna stay.
Well, thank you so much for interacting with us and
Yeah.
coming to our house. And we really appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah,
And we're
thank
looking
you.
forward to you being at Detroit Comics Party on
Yeah.
June 17th. And we're going to have a real good time.
Totally.
And thanks again for coming on. And thank you, everybody at home, for watching the show.
Cell phone.